Get back to 303 talk, guys. I got to catch the show up a little bit. Ian Garry versus MVP. That's looking pretty good now. The fact that another Irishman, we're having trouble corralling him to just a press conference. I definitely don't want to jinx it by saying I wonder what might happen later this month. But any thoughts on this matchup, Nolan King?
Yeah, it's great. I think it was the fight to make. I know a lot of people had kind of hoped that it would be in Manchester on that card, but to me, I think this is a great moment for Ian Garry in his career to be aligned with one of the most prominent or the most prominent, most famous, biggest superstar mixed martial artist of all time, and somebody from his same country. So I very much dig it. It seems like they'll be opening the main card according to the lineup that they showed on the broadcast, which is kind of interesting. I guess one of those scenarios where they want you to tune in from the start to the finish. We've seen them do that a few times in the past, but it's a great fight. In terms of the division, I think maybe it has potential to be frustrating, right? Both of these guys are very technical. At times, I'm not ruling out that there's going to be. In my brain, I don't think it's going to be necessarily like a barn burner, but I think it could be for those fans that are interested in the technique and in the technical side of things. It could be, quite the battle in that realm.
Can Ian Garry win over that Irish crowd, that Conor McGregor tends to bring to these big fight cards? Undefeated, brash talker, but kind of cringy at times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's impossible. Honestly, you know what I think is difficult for him is to kind of use a pro wrestling term. Like, he's in a division other than Colby Covington that's just full of baby faces, so it's hard for him to really get over on any of these guys. But I think it's possible that he could win over that Irish crowd at least.
All right. Well, we'll see. I think it's a great addition to the card. How about Carlos Ulberg stepping up to fight Jamahal Hill, as Khalil Roundtree obviously has his problems with some testing, I guess. Mike, you like this fight? Should Ulberg have is he pouncing on the right opportunity, or can a lot go out the window? Because he's obviously built himself into a solid 205er.
No, hell yeah. This is a great opportunity for him, and he absolutely should have pounced on it. I mean, it's 6 wins in a row. This is the natural progress of things. For someone like himself, maybe usually you wouldn't get this big a leap if it wasn't under these circumstances where there's maybe a replacement, things like that. But could you look at the top 3 or 4 in the division and be like, who would be a better opportunity for Carlos Ulberg to launch himself into that? No, it's a Jamahal Hill who is coming off a quick knockout loss, making a turnaround, a serious injury, all that stuff. There's a lot of questions to be had around Jamahal Hill here. And if you're Carlos Ulberg, those are things that you absolutely hope you can take advantage of and hope he is vulnerable in this fight. And if you're Jamahal too, it's a good matchup, a guy who in absolutely no way is going to try to take you down in this fight. It's going to be a stand-up fight. You can try to showcase your skills there. Maybe you can even try to use some offensive grappling in this fight. So I think for Jamahal, there's a lot of upside here too. But for Carlos, this is the one where he has a ton to gain and can transform the entire imagery of his career, because if he wins this, he is in the title conversation.